Hello, welcome back to the Retrocade podcast, episode 21. It's Phil here, and I have a special guest here, Johnny Blaze from down the block.
Johnny Blaze.
How you doing?
How you doing, Phil?
Good, I'm doing real good. How's everything?
Hello.
So, I'm pretty sure you're really my first official guest or first official show of 2017, because the last one, even though we released after the new year, I think we did it before we did it right before the new year. So this is the first official episode of 2017, and there's a lot going on in 2017. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be so impressive. We've got so many movies. But tell us a little bit about your expertise. So now, from what I understand, you're a bit of a Game of Thrones enthusiast, I would say.
Song of Ice and Fire book series and the Game of Thrones TV show. Yes, I would consider myself an expert.
You would consider yourself a particular expert in this critique. What if I voir dire you and ask you some questions about the Game of Thrones? Would you be able to answer said questions?
It's possible. It's absolutely possible.
Okay, so what happened to Stannis Baratheon in the last season of the Game of Thrones?
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He's dead.
So you're definitely more of a Game of Thrones knowledgeable person than I am. Like, I'm a passive Game of Thrones person. Like, I watch the show, I like the characters, but I get fucking confused so many times.
Have you read any of the books?
No, I haven't read the books. I know you read all the books.
There's 11 books now.
Is there 11 books?
There is maybe 10.
Should be 11.
You got all 5 of the main series.
Mm-hmm.
You got Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
Clash of Kings,
Mhm.
Storm of Swords,
Mhm.
Feast for Crows,
Mm-hmm.
and Dance of Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are the 5. There's 2 more planned,
Okay.
which we're not going to count.
We're not going to count the 2.
Winds of Winter
Sure.
and Dream of Spring.
So-
Now, Winds of Winter has been highly anticipated for years now, going back to 2011.
Sure.
And it might be the most anticipated book since the Bible.
I would say maybe even more so.
I would think more so. It's more interesting.
Would you say that George R.R.R. Martin is even bigger than Jesus?
No.
You would not? No, I wouldn't say nobody's bigger than Jesus.
But Jesus didn't write that book.
I would say he did not. But
So
but
we're
he's
not
the main
comparing-
character in it.
He is the main character in it.
Boy, everybody's a sinner in this book, except for this guy. That's from The Simpsons as well.
All right, going on. We had 5 I just mentioned.
Yeah. Well, you had 5 and then plus the other 2.
You
which
have
was
3 Duncan Egg books.
Okay, but what are those?
You got the Hedge Knight, the Mystery Knight,
Mm-hmm.
and the Sworn Sword.
Are
Not in any order.
Are those like prequels?
Yes,
or?
yes.
Okay,
yes.
so
that
they're
goes
like
back to Maester Aemon's younger brother, who became King Aegon V,
yeah.
and the knight he squired for. It's a series about them, about, I would say, 80 to 90 years set prior to Game of Thrones.
I see.
Walder Frey, as a baby, is in the second book.
I'll find another for those
And he was,
uninitiated. That's the guy from the Red Wedding.
He was as evil at
Is
4
that-
years old and annoying. Sir Duncan the Tall remarks to himself that he would like to throw the child down a well. He was 4 years old, crying, and I think his older sister was being married off to some fat lord.
I'll find
So that's 3 books right there.
Yeah.
Then you have 2 books that aren't even really books. They're short stories that were in other books full with short stories. You have The Rogue Prince
Okay.
and The Dance of the Dragons. Now, not to be confused with the 5th book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, but that was the name of the civil war between the Targaryens, also called The Princess and the Queen, or The Greens and the Blacks.
Right.
The Rogue Prince is about 40 pages long,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, the Greens and
So
the
those
Blacks.
are real short.
The Greens and the Blacks about 80 pages,
Okay.
with a about 80,000 words, with a 8,000 words and a 30,000 word book planned. So about, a real book is planned in the future, as is other Duncan Egg books. There's about 6 more planned.
All of these are written by George R.R.R. Martin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the Duncan Egg series, they're going with where they are now, and then they're going to Winterfell,
Uh-huh.
and it ends with him being the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard for Aegon.
You saying
Like
him?
right now,
Who are you referring to when you say him?
Duncan the Tall, Sir Duncan the Tall.
Is he in the show?
No,
because
this
is
is 80
before.
years
This is-
before. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they never did have any flashbacks to any of that. Right.
No, this is one of the last Targaryen kings. The Mad King's
Oh.
grandfather is King Aegon V, who in the
Ah.
book is referred to as Egg.
Okay.
Because he's a prince of the realm traveling around. He can't be saying, "Hey, I'm
Sure.
I'm Aegon Targaryen."
No, yeah.
So he's his head is shaved,
keeps a low
and he's called
profile.
Egg.
Oh, because why? Because his head looks like an egg or something.
Well, he had a dragon egg when he was a
Oh.
baby, and he cherished it above everything. And it's just a nickname he went by. That's just what they called him.
Yeah, so see, when Jeremy talks Game of Thrones, it's like when Marissa Tomei was talking about Positive Traction on the Buick. You know, what'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, Johnny Blaze. Excuse me. Beep. We'll have to censor that out. We've already got to do edits. But yeah, so definitely.
So how many is that now?
Books wise,
5,
we
8,
say?
9, 10.
We said 10 with the
10.
short story.
Yes,
books.
and then there's the World of Ice and Fire book.
Is that World of Ice and Fire?
The World of Ice and Fire. It's a massive book.
Is that like a compilation book?
It's the histories of all the 7 kingdoms.
It's the history.
It was written by a maester in the world, quote unquote maester in the world. He wrote a book in Old Town in Westeros, and they put it out as if the maester wrote it.
I see. Yeah.
So that's 11 books in total.
How many have you read?
All of them.
You read them all?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, you see, I've never read the books. I'm into the show. I like the show, and I know, like, if you point out an ancillary character to me, I'll probably not know the name, but I know all the main character names. I know the Jon Snows and the Daenerys.
Oh,
and
basically the books
the
are
little
amazing.
Fingers. Yeah,
but
they've trailed off now, though. The movie,
the
show
has trailed off.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that the show is, if not top 3, then the best show of all time.
Now, when people say this, you always gotta throw in a few more names. But The Wire.
The Wire is a great show.
So I never really watched The Wire, but I've heard great things.
All the HBO shows are. If you have a list of the 10 best shows ever,
A lot of them
half are
HBO.
going to be HBO
Yeah.
shows, if not more.
Are you gonna throw Sprinkling Sopranos in there?
I mean,
Maybe top 10.
I guess.
Top 10.
I guess. Yeah, it's top 10.
I'm very partial to Breaking Bad. I thought that was awesome.
Wasn't a
for
huge
drama.
Breaking Bad fan.
No.
I watched 2 seasons of it.
Oh.
I didn't watch it steady at all, but
I
think with a drug show like
during,
that,
like,
with a criminal show like that, you need to be on an
I
HBO
know,
Showtime so you could. I mean,
do all the gritty shit.
They could murder people and cook meth, but they can't curse.
Yeah.
I mean, he could.
Jesse, what the hell? Jesse
basically,
said,
this guy
yeah,
could
bitch.
serve up methamphetamines to someone. They could die, but he can't say, "Oh fuck, he's ODing." No,
Yeah.
they can't do that. So I don't really. No.
Yeah. I get it. Like, it doesn't have that gritty, dark realism that maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Breaking Bad
But,
fan. Not to say it was a bad show or anything, just not my favorite.
Maybe in regards to just cable show, not premium channel show, it is definitely one of the.
I mean, you could do different categories also,
Yeah,
such as dramas and action and comedies. But if you're just doing everything, I think any way you cut it, except for comedies or cartoons, obviously, it's just the best show ever.
We're not going to count The Simpsons or anything.
It's just the best show
those.
they've ever made. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And that being said, I think it's better if you're going to read the books to watch the show first, because there are so many hundreds of thousands of characters that if you can't at least
Billions.
put a picture in your head while you're reading of what the main character looks like, it's just too hard to watch.
Yeah,
See, my father read the books before the show. And when I read it, I definitely got more of an understanding because you could just picture certain things by watching the show. So I definitely recommend watching the show first, then reading the books, because
like when you see, like when you read the name Littlefinger, you
want a picture in your head when you're reading a book. I feel like if it's not too long, then it doesn't matter.
But now
if it's
that
a long book,
now that they've split so much, wouldn't that have a bit of an effect on you? Wouldn't you be like, this isn't what happened in the show?
I can see why some people will cry and say that, but no, it's just 2 ways of telling a story. I mean, it's like a game of telephone, I suppose. By the end, you get so many different versions, so it's just a different way of telling the same story. Now, is it going to be different? Sure. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Because this series is very unique in the way that they had a book to base it off of, and not anymore, and they're going on their own. That's never happened before. Anything that was any TV show or movie that was based on a book, they had the complete story. They knew where the end was going or what they wanted to do.
It wasn't like an ongoing.
And this is extremely unique. Where not only was the season coming up going to be, uncharted territory, but last season I was at the same page as everybody else. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Right. But that being said, and now I'm assuming I know from what I understand, I know the producers know how George is going to end it, just in case he croaks.
That's correct.
But are they going to go that exact way? Because it seems like, are they just branching off and they're going to meet up in the end at the same place for the ending?
They're great questions, and I don't have the answers for them. Being an expert, that doesn't mean I'm in the mind of George Triple R, Quadruple R Martin,
Subtuple R Martin. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
But that is a great question, and where is it going to go? And it's completely unique. I mean, there's people that are dead in the show that aren't dead in the books, and vice versa. People that are alive in the books that, it's different.
Now, I know some people like
you asked me about Stannis Baratheon.
Right.
Stannis Baratheon's not dead.
He's alive in the books.
Very alive. He is 3 days away from Winterfell, trying to take the castle from Roose Bolton with other northern soldiers that he gained to his side by taking back one of the castles that the Ironborn had occupied.
Sure.
And he has a lot of northern support at this point, and he's going to take down the Boltons. Mm-hmm. But it's funny that George R.R. Martin also said that there was a spoiler in the show where he does burn his daughter alive. That is going to happen in the book.
Oh, so that is going to happen.
Yes.
Is that like official?
He said it.
Oh my God. Yeah, whatevs. Well,
that was hard. That was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch, especially because I liked that character before that happened. You know,
the little girl.
No, Stannis.
Stannis.
Yeah.
Hard to like him afterwards, right?
Yeah. Well, the little girl was fine too, and it was like,
yeah, I like Stannis too.
Because he kind of turned him into a scumbag, villain. That
I mean, he didn't want to do. You see, and that guy was such a great actor. You see it in his face, he was just so.
That guy is good. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's good. He was so distraught, and just his face was so drawn and tired, and half of his men abandoned him after that. I mean, he was fucked.
Yeah. That was it was bittersweet or bitter, but I mean overall, Game of Thrones is a great show.
You know what I found weird about that? When Brienne executed him, she said, "In the name of Renly Baratheon, rightful king." Why was he the rightful king?
Why is he the rightful
king of the Andals and the First Men? I didn't understand why she said that. He was a claimant, and he was going to. His claim was that of conquest.
Sure.
He called himself king by right of conquest, not blood or anything in that nature. So I don't understand why he was the rightful king. But
was she saying it just to give herself more reason to be?
No, she didn't need no reason.
She ain't need no reason for that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but so when's the new season coming out? Are these things that you know?
Soon.
So is it May this year or April?
I think they're pushing it to May.
Yes,
don't quote me on that.
I heard that too.
The reason why it was April in other years or sooner in the year in other seasons was because that they needed weather to be good. In this case, it's winter. They don't need the weather to be good. They just got back to filming because the entire cast was on a holiday break.
Sure.
Due to the Christmas and New Year. Yeah, the holidays, exactly. So they just got back to filming, and they released somebody dropped the whole script or at least the plot lines because they have released a lot of information on the episodes on the upcoming season.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if they're true or not, but the stuff that I read,
you read it. I avoid that shit nowadays because they did that with Star Wars Episode 7 before it was coming out.
I couldn't help myself.
And apparently, a fair amount of it was accurate. And nowadays, because the problem is that these productions are so big. You'll just have, and I was just listening.
You can't keep a tight lip.
You can't keep a tight lip. I was just listening to The Nerdist with Mark Hamill, one of the newer episodes of The Nerdist, and Mark Hamill was going on about.
What's that? A podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's with Chris Hardwick. I
hate that guy.
He's all right.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere now.
He's everywhere.
I don't know why or how.
The guy came out of nowhere. He's 40 years old.
I don't know where he popped up at.
He has that same beard with just a little stubble on it.
Yeah,
how could he always look like he shaved yesterday?
Yeah. I know,
and he's just so corny, and he does all those stupid shows.
He does At Midnight, and he's like in a lot of
the Talking Dead.
Yeah, he does Talking Dead,
which is another
do you watch Walking
awful
Dead?
show.
Do you watch Walking Dead?
I do watch it, and people that think that's the best show of all time really need to watch other shows because that show is so boring. I mean,
there's some seasons from what I understand that are because I've watched a few episodes.
The third season was great. Yeah. When they were in the prison and they had that governor guy, that was good stuff, man. But then you have now they have episodes where you have a character that disappeared for 10 episodes, and then they have the entire episode about them. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
I don't care.
Well, there's a lot of filler with the show. There's a lot of filler from what I understand.
Like that lesbian woman. She was running around that fishing village.
Yes.
I forgot about her. I forgot. I thought
like,
she might have been
that's
dead
a
or something.
character.
Like, oh, well, she's back. And then you got the guy, Chris Hardwick, like, yes, I was so excited when I seen her back. Like, no, you weren't. You know that episode was boring, just like everyone else did.
But Chris Hardwick's got to get his paycheck.
Oh, man, he's getting paid, though.
AMC's got to get his
paid,
paycheck.
though. You know what? I don't hate the guy. Do what you got to do to get your money. But
Ching.
yeah,
That's
but he's
Hollywood.
not. I'm not a fan. That's for sure. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say I hate the guy and badmouth him. He's doing his thing. He's on 18 TV shows.
Yeah.
You know what he is? He's like a less famous Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, definitely. I was gonna say that when we first brought him up, that he's like a weaker version of Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
I actually probably only because I think he's funnier than Seacrest. So
he's
maybe
corny, man.
his jokes are alright. Like I like him on At
How
Midnight.
does he always look like he shaved yesterday? He's got that stubble every time.
He probably has a close shave.
He's super. He's on that
razor deal.
hashtag shit. I mean, he's a super
the
Twitter
show,
guy.
yeah, of course.
I
mean,
hate
in
that
this
shit,
age,
man. Yeah.
you got to be. But
Sure, but like he's just as corny as they come, man.
I'm pretty sure the biggest thing that he does is his Nerdist podcast. It's one of the biggest podcasts out there. Like Mark Maron and Joe Rogan. Those are like the top biggest podcasts. And Nerdist
But that
is
Walking
close.
Dead, man, that's a boring TV show. That they don't stop.
That show is boring.
Sure is, man.
You're probably gonna piss off a lot of people saying that. A lot of people love that shit.
And they need to look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, half that season was boring. Admit it. You know what? They don't admit
that's the
it
problem.
either.
It's like
They
every
don't
other
admit it either.
every other episode is like
It's
just
boring filler, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
crudely drawn filler material.
And the first 3 seasons, it seemed like there was a few scattered people in the world and them. Now it's like, holy,
tons of people.
How many people survived? Millions. I mean, they have all they need is a couple cell phone towers up, and they'll be communicating in no time. There's so many people that made it. Where are these people coming from?
That soon enough they'll have internet access again.
Oh man, and they're so boring.
We just got Google.
Like I just found out that guy that Negan killed was the lady that was running the community, Alexandria. That was her second son. I didn't know she had another son. I mean, they just love pouring characters in.
Is that a spoiler? Because
no, they killed him. They with the pool. They were playing pool or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it was just a
it's not
random
spoiler.
killing.
Yeah, everything's a random killing on that show. And then they got that lady. What's her name? Carol.
Yeah.
She is just the worst actress ever. She's top 5 worst actresses of our time. She's awful. I mean, she'll start hyper.
She gonna get the Razzie?
There was a couple seasons ago. She was hyperventilating all the time and crying, and then this last season, she's in that she's in that place, and she's like crying and like, oh, I'm so thankful to be here, and then she's hiding blankets under her.
That's
like,
the older.
My man, shut up.
That's the older one, right?
She's the old lady.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, you have peach cobbler? And then she hides a couple blankets when the guy turns around. Like, my man, like, we don't believe you. we don't believe you. And then you got that one guy, the English guy, who he's not English on the show, though. He was in Snatch. What's his name? Morgan, right? The guy with the stick. He fights with a stick or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not leaving you, no matter what. Why do you care about her, man? Like, none of us do.
Wait, not the black guy.
The black guy, yes.
Oh, okay.
And he just won't leave her for anything. And they all need to leave her. She needs to just die because she's the worst actress I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Our audience over here is getting a good chuckle out of that.
It's not true. I'm not laughing. I think it's
yeah, I'm not laughing. This is a fucking serious situation.
It's a serious thing. I mean,
I'm more serious than cancer,
I'm
boy.
more serious than cancer, boy. I mean, her and Chris Hardwick need to go somewhere, and then that's it.
They should go somewhere and take them
She's an
at
awful
midnight.
actress, man. She's awful.
You never watch that show At Midnight with him? The little they
have like it's like a game show almost.
It's a game show with comedians, and they just like throw jokes at like pop culture,
hysterical.
like Twitter shit. Yeah.
See, I don't like he's all about pop culture. You know, his favorite song.
But it's more like internet age culture.
Yeah. But I
than
guarantee
pop
the
culture,
song on his iPod right now is whatever's the top 10 Billboard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Whatever's
he's bumping
whatever's
Ariana
number
Grande
1 on the
right
top
now.
40. Yeah.
So
no, he is a very much like
I hate that
commercial.
Oh, he's so commercial.
Yeah,
he's
totally.
He's a sellout commercial pop culture. He's that
getting
guy.
his paycheck. Well,
he's making his money,
and that's why
Again,
when you said the
let's not
Seacrest thing,
knock on too
I totally agree with the Ryan Seacrest comment.
That guy was on every channel.
Not only it's not just that they look the same and they wear the
they do look
suits.
the same. They do look alike.
But it goes beyond that. It's like they're just slapping their name on anything and everything they can for a paycheck. You know, which Ryan Seacrest was.
Where
doing.
did he come from though? Was he just like a
gotta
radio?
Be honest, I don't fucking know.
He must have just
What
been a
was
radio.
first?
He was probably just a radio host, and then he just got a shot, and now he's on 35 different TV shows.
Let's see. I know he's a comedian. He was probably doing stand up first.
I don't. He's not funny, so I can't see
I
that.
think he's alright.
probably a radio host.
Chris Hardwick.
How old is he? 42.
45.
Oh wow,
He's
he
on the,
tries very hard not to look
He's
it.
gonna be 40. Well,
He acts like he's 30.
He has a youthful look. Yeah, he acts like he's like 30. Right?
Yeah.
He acts like he's fucking.
I don't want to make this all about bashing Chris Hardwick.
I do.
I mean,
I do.
I mean, the guy's making his money. Let him do what he's got to do.
You know what? Because the funny thing is that because he is in everything. Like I just listened to like 2 podcasts with him, and like I just take it for granted. It's like, oh, Chris Hardwick's doing it now.
Yeah.
I know who he is now. But it's like a year ago, I don't think I knew who the
He's
fuck he was.
He's a comfortable, safe face.
He's a comfortable, safe face that's all over the television now.
I feel safe when I'm watching him.
Yeah.
He's very non-threatening. I'll give him
very
that.
non-threatening.
Yeah.
You know, with his like, oh, it's Chris Hardwick. Oh, we're at midnight. We
have a special guest tonight.
Yeah.
Carol from Carol herself.
It's gonna be another mediocre episode of The Talking Dead.
Oh, a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, always a lot to talk about.
And like he's so emotionally invested to the show. Like the first episode when they whacked out the Chinese guy and then the redhead.
Sure.
So, we're gonna get through this together, people, and we got Abraham with us.
I know.
And if there's anything I could do, if I could blow him on air for you, don't be afraid to send your questions, and we're gonna get through this together, people.
That's for sure. And
I just need a second.
I need a second. I'm torn apart here. I can't take it no more. Cut.
Why do they have to kill Glenn? Why can't it just all end happy?
Cut the tape.
Why can't they just walk through and killing zombies all episode?
Yeah. So he was a DJ in L.A.
DJ?
No, like a radio DJ.
Where he spun
was on
only
DJ.
top 10 hits.
Only top 10. Yeah.
We got an hour of Drake coming up.
No, he was K-Rock FM in the mid-90s. He was probably like some second-rate, like probably the midnight guy or something.
Mid-90s.
And then he was in
a lot of Duncan Sheik.
Yeah. Stuff like that. A little later than Rock Me Amadeus, but he was... And then then he was on a show that had one season on UPN called Guys Like Us. Don't know if you ever seen it.
UPN?
UPN.
The Black Network.
Yeah. Isn't there a racial term for that, for the
African
acronym?
American Network?
Yeah, there was a more racist term.
He's more white than paper.
He is white. Yeah. If there's anybody white on TV, Chris Hardwick's coming up in the top couple of people.
He's as white as they come. He made it on UPN.
He made it on UPN.
Interesting. Is that just because he's everywhere?
I don't know. But at the time, he wasn't everywhere. This is in 98.
Wow.
But
so they seen him, said, hey, if he could get on UPN, let's put him on every other channel.
I got to be honest. It's taken him quite a while to...
well, he's 45.
He's paid his dues? He's been paying his dues, yeah. He used to be on the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. He had a small role in Terminator 3.
He's an actor.
He's an actor, comedian.
A bit actor.
Actor/comedian. So stand-up actor, voice actor, writer, producer. Oh, he's a multi-talented. All these. Things
multi-talented.
Stand-up
voice actor.
Yeah, they do. They have like 12 things for him. They have stand-up comedian, voice actor,
though,
television host. Sure, no, of course.
Yeah, he got a good voice
because he's got that voice. For it. Television host, writer, producer, podcaster, and musician, and the executive producer of the Nerdist Industries, which was started.
Musician? Was he play the microphone?
Probably. I don't know how much freaking music that he's going to be doing, but this is
he covers top 10 hits.
Partner, Chloe Dykstra.
Is that Lenny Dykstra's daughter?
No, it's John. Oh my God, it's John Dykstra's daughter. John Dykstra was one of the leading guys in ILM, and they created called the Dykstra Flex camera, which allowed all the Star Wars special effects in the first movie.
Lenny Dykstra involved?
Lenny Dykstra was not involved.
Yes, he
John
is.
Dykstra is. Is he? I don't know.
Yes, he is. Lenny Dykstra made a ton of money after baseball.
Yeah, I know he did. Well, what did he milk his fee?
I thought it was something with cameras.
I don't think he's related to John Dykstra, but I know who you're talking about. He was fucking. He played on the Mets, right? Or the Phillies. But he was on the Mets, no?
Yeah, he was on the Mets.
We have the Peanut Gallery confirming that our producers have confirmed that he may or may not have been on the Mets.
That's not the point.
Been on the Phillies, but I guess he was mostly known for the Phillies.
Yeah,
because
that
was when we were in the 90s. Yeah. But yeah. What did he put his money into the camera business too?
I don't know. It was something. I know he made a lot of money after baseball.
Good for him. But yeah. So apparently, Hardwick dated Chloe Dykstra, which
Oh,
was John
okay,
Dykstra's
okay.
daughter, and now I guess he just got married. Yeah, in
So
fact,
that's how
what
he got his start.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
banged the right broad.
Yeah, and that reminds me of when.
So he did not pay his dues.
He did not pay his dues. He squeezed in otherwise. I don't know how much power John Dykstra has in Hollywood anymore. Anyway, because he got actually into
Power's one thing, connections are another.
Yeah, it is connections. You squeezed himself in like that. Yeah, I didn't even realize that she was really somebody, but she's a bit of an actress, but
It's not who
I
you
think
know.
I did know that. It's
not who you know, it's who you blow.
Hardwick openly talks about being a recovering alcoholic and being sober since October 8th, 2003.
I never heard him talk about that so openly.
I never heard about that. Maybe he doesn't do it. Maybe he does it on the Nerdist and not on at midnight.
You know, this Talking Dead episode. I don't know how I got through The Walking Dead without a drink. They killed Glenn.
It gave me so much stress. I had to take a drink. That would be funny if the end of Walking Dead was so stressful.
Why don't you get away from me?
Yeah.
I'll interview who I want.
Slag off.
Slag off.
You changed, man. You used to be about the podcast.
I said slag off.
Yeah, it's gold. Straight gold. He's done a lot of television.
I'll
since the
interview
90s,
who
too.
I want.
Yeah.
Now, if Andrew Lincoln comes up, I'll do it.
Yeah, now give me a paycheck.
Let me blow Glenn.
Shit. But yeah, so that guy is somebody now. But all right, moving on. We'll move on to the year in movies of 2017. Now, Jeremy, from what I understand, you haven't seen some of the movies of 2016. Say either one of the Star Wars. What the fuck is with that?
I didn't see either Star Wars
No,
or...
I know you have an excuse for not seeing Episode 7 that we're not even going to get into. But what? Now,
I don't have an excuse because I could have seen it any time.
Yeah. Well,
So
why
I don't
haven't
have an
you?
excuse. I don't know. I wasn't really... I don't know.
You weren't really pumped for it. Now you're somebody that maybe was a Star Wars. Yeah, like I'm a
Star Wars fan.
You're a Star Wars fan, but
Star Wars
I'm gonna
fan.
call you a late bloomer Star Wars fan because you didn't really get into Star Wars until
I watched the
Revenge of the Sith came out. I remember in 2005. I've known you a long time. I know you kid like 25 years. So, I remember you were much more passive about it. Maybe back then in high school or whatever.
I love that Revenge of the Sith.
But
though.
yeah, you did. But Revenge of the Sith came out, and you became, and that made you become a fan. Maybe
that movie is great. Well, I seen the first 3 prequels as a child, as everyone else did.
the prequels, the originals.
The originals.
Yeah.
I seen them as as a kid, 28 years old. I seen them as a kid like everyone else did. I just wasn't a huge fan of the Sarlacc pit. I mean, I liked it, but
Yeah.
I know enough. I know
Yeah.
enough. I've read several of the what do they call it? The Old Republic books.
Oh yeah.
I've read several of those.
Oh,
My interest lies in the Sith.
Yeah, you like
I read
Sith stuff?
I read the Bane books.
Oh, the Darth Bane trilogy.
The Bane trilogy was incredible. It
Yeah.
was really freaking good.
They should make like
it's
a.
good. They should make.
They should make like an HBO kind of show,
Should
right?
make a
Like a
movie
dark
about
kind of
Bane.
game. Or yeah, you could do a Darth Bane movie, or
should make a trilogy about Bane.
What a lot of people say on the internet and in other shows and stuff, they mention that they think that the Old Republic should be kind of like a Game of Thrones like HBO show, and I
I'd
think
be
that
very
would,
interested in
I
that.
think that would be.
I love those Old Republic stories.
Yeah, the
I
Old
read
Republic
the
stories are awesome,
the Darth Revan.
Yeah, Darth
Very
Revan.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. The Darth Revan book was very good.
Yeah. Those are those are extremely popular
Do you know?
characters.
Do you know
mentioned.
Darth Revan?
Yeah, of course I do.
Because he wasn't a Sith for long.
No, what did he convert?
He was a Jedi. Then he was tricked by the Emperor or
Sure.
mind washed by the Emperor, and not Palpatine.
No.
mind you. This
Going
was an
way-
emperor that lived like 1,000 years.
Yeah, because
he was the most. I can't explain to you how powerful he was. Actually, this emperor that I'm talking about was like 10 Palpatines. This guy was unbelievable. He was unbelievable, and it's not along the either way. And then he became a Jedi again.
Oh, is that how happened? He went from
Yeah,
good to
he wasn't
bad?
a Sith. He got brainwashed by
Oh.
this emperor, and whatever. The book was great, and then I read a couple of.
But Darth
the,
Bane was straight evil, right? And then there's Darth Bane, and there's also Darth Malgus.
Evil
or whatever.
is a point of view, Anakin.
Yeah, the Sith.
No, I don't know about that. He was pretty freaking evil. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The books are awesome. It goes from Darth Bane to
Darth Bane is cool looking because he's like
he's a monster.
he's got like that. What are those scars around his eyes? Or I know he's like
Sith
bald.
markings, and then
Sith
he
markings.
totally destroyed the Sith temple
Oh, did he?
because in that day there was just a bunch of Sith in this temple running around.
Sure.
But he thought it was retarded because he felt like it weakened the Sith.
Sure.
Because there would be the most powerful Sith, and then you have a bunch of his students gang up and kill him but no one became more powerful than him.
Mm-hmm.
So he felt like that would ruin the Sith. And then he created the rule of 2.
Right.
And that's what the Sith always go by. I am part of Bane's line. So
Mm-hmm.
they've been other Sith, but if you weren't in Bane's line, because the way was the apprentice kills the master when he becomes more powerful than him.
Of course.
Ensuring.
Well, that's why there should only be, or there only can be 2.
But that would ensure that the Sith gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
Okay.
Because you're killing your master, that means you've outgrown him.
Well, yeah.
Ending with Palpatine.
If the apprentice can kill the master on his own, but that's why there can only be 2. Because if the apprentice and
uses help, then he's not as strong, and it weakens the Sith.
Sure.
And Bane started that rule, and it ended, of course, with Palpatine taking over. And that's what Darth Plagueis figured out. When he found out that Palpatine